Hi guys, and welcome to a special version of Meshing About. So as you can see on my screen, I have a documents folder open, and you're probably wondering, well, why? So as I mentioned a few vlogs ago, I had been given a what do you call, for Christmas I was given a pass for a sort of intermediate photography course, and that happened today. And yeah, so I woke up about 7:30 to get ready for this course this morning, and was actually lucky enough to have Dad drive me down to the place, which was, if you live in Brisbane, you might know where New Farm Park is. That's where the course was held, and when we got there, we were introduced to the coordinator, and we started off first by just explaining the different part settings that you have on the camera. So if any of you have a digital SLR camera, you might know the term, the settings like AV and TV, which were the main ones that they focused on. Most cameras have an automatic setting as well, which is what they're trying to prevent us from using. So yeah, it was good. So we learned about using shutter speeds and aperture sizes and things like that, and we started the day like it's one of those like park places, so it's an area where people can just go for runs, because it's a whole circle, so go for runs around or just enjoy some time next to the Brisbane River, or there's a little flower garden, so that's where they started teaching us, was taking pictures of flowers, which was it was actually more interesting than it sounds. But yeah, we'd just like to, instead of doing a video on painting today, because I didn't really get time to do any extra stuff, so it would be sort of a waste of time. I'm going to show you some of the better pictures that I took of the day. So like I said, we started off in the there was a rose garden, and we were taking pictures there, and we were being taught how to focus on an object and framing and things like that. And so this is one of the better pictures of the rose that I took. So it was quite sunny at the time, so it's focused just on the rose, and everything else is blurred out. And if we go to properties, for anyone who is interested in camera shots, this is a raw file, so there's no compression. It was on f-stop 9 at 1/250th of a second shot on an ISO of 100. And if you're not sure what that means, you could look it up. not really going to explain it because I'll probably explain it bad basically, but the ISO is just like the amount, it just quickly the ISO is how quickly light is drawn into the camera. The exposure time is how quickly the shutters close, and the aperture is how small the light is, how small the shutter is when it opens, or how big depending on the size. So if you're interested in how this shot was taken, that's the specs there. I think they're all going to be pretty much the same. So that's set on the shutter speed setting. So the aperture setting is automatic, like it'll work it out itself. So this is one of the other ones, so just off to the side. So this is more of a framing thing. And for anyone who does art, there's the rule of thirds, where you divide the image into 3 parts vertically and 3 parts horizontally, and you want the focus, unless you do, like, you're doing something specific, you want it to be sort of taking about 1/3 but still have something interesting. So I think this turned out really well. Again, focus on the flower, and the background is all faded out. And I like this one as well. It's a little bigger, so it's more like half, but it's really well focused image, and you can there's still some interest here. And if you can see the little spider sitting in the plant as well. I'm just going to check just to see. So the f-stop was a bit bigger, but the speed is the same, and the ISO is the same as well. And yeah, so yeah, there's not really much difference between these pictures in like how they were taken, and there's no editing as well. Is that the last one? Cool. I'll explain the colors later. So that was working on shutter speed, and then the coordinator took us down into the shade and asked us to she had an umbrella and was spinning it, and I wasn't going to take any of the pictures where she was spinning it, and asked us to take a photo with a fast shutter speed so that it would stay still, because that's kind of boring. It just looks like someone's holding an umbrella. But she was spinning it and said to take a photo so that it looked like the umbrella was blurred. So this is one of the ones I took, and I like it because this isn't the best one, but it's the best framed, because there is nothing else in this picture but this color wheel, and I think that's cool. And this is the other one. I like the fact that it's all blended in, but I didn't quite get it in frame properly, so there's an edging. But if I just cropped it, here and here, it would be fine. So that was really cool. And then we moved on to some more. Most of it was shutter speeds, but she said to play around after. So this is let's bring the properties up. So yeah, this is the normal settings that they said to play around with, which was 200 1/250th of a second exposure time and 100 ISO. So there was a bucket just sitting on one of the ledges, so I took that, and it sort of follows the thirds rule. I really like this picture. It's just it's just interesting, really. I found the next one, there was just this single pod thing hanging down, so I was just like, well, I'll take a picture of that. And it's not quite thirds. It's not quite in thirds, like it's a bit thinner than a third. But they were also talking about leading the eye, so you do start here and it draws you down to these seeds here. It is too bad that the background is also green, so it sort of all fits in, but I don't know, I kind of like that picture too. And this was alright. It's not very atmospheric, but it's cool nonetheless. I think I changed the settings for this. Yeah, I put the ISO up to 800 because it was shady, so that more light could get in. Or the light would come in faster for the 250th of a second. But I put it up a bit higher for another shot, and it was too bright. So yeah, it's not too bad, but there's nothing really special about this picture. And then we were just playing around with aperture settings for a bit, and I know this is blurry, but it's just a cool image, really, because if the tap was in focus properly, it would be a nice focus tap with complete, like, you wouldn't even be able to tell what the background was, which is cool. Yeah, I think the exposure time was too long, but and the ISO was too high. I didn't change it, but I forgot to change it rather. Oh, actually, I think that's what they told us. They told us to go for an f-stop of 8 and the ISO of 800, and yeah, it just it's just a bit too fast, but whatever. I mean, the exposure is open for too long, so it's a little blurry from a little bit of shake, but it turned out okay. I think that's it. Yeah, back to the roses. So that was the photo course. If you're interested, the company is called Blue Dogs. I'll put a link in anyway. I think it was called Blue Dogs, and I think the course was $80, and it was a 3-hour course. And I would recommend it if you know about photography or cameras, and you were wanting to get more better shots, I guess. I really enjoyed it, but it would have been better, a better thing in the winter rather than summer, because it was rather hot. But that's pretty much my news. Like I said, tomorrow is it's the Mario Galaxy 1 all-nighter, starting about 4 or 5. So there probably won't be one of these on Monday, tomorrow, because I'll wake up and I'll go straight to the event. So I will do on Tuesday and let you know how that goes. So I hope you have had a wonderful weekend, and I hope your start of the new week is all well and good. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I will see you for a short episode Tuesday, probably before I pass out on the bed for a long sleep. Alright, cheers guys.